assuming you were using the costs from kellyscloset.com. I like Kelly's Closet because they often have coupon codes for a free one-size diaper or a free diaper or a free diaper cover or something. And you can place smaller orders and rack up more of those freebies. They also have a rewards point system, so if for every purchase that you do, you get points back, and then those points can be redeemed for a gift certificate to the store. They also don't just have cloth diapers, they have other things as well, which is kind of nice. So most of the costs are for Kelly's Closet until we get to the pre-folds. Kelly's Closet used to carry Econobum, which is by Bum Genius, and they didn't now, and I really like them. So I went ahead and used the Econobum.com or like cottonbabies.com price for that, but that is the only one that's different. These prices do not include any coupon codes or diaper codes or Black Friday or Earth Day deals or anything like that, nor does it include any redeeming of points. It does assume that you have 24 diapers in your stash, which is the general recommended number that you should have if you're washing every 2 to 3 days, depending on the age of your baby. If you have a newborn, you're only going to get away with about 2 days doing that. If you have an older child, you can definitely get away with 3 days with 24 diapers. So 24 diapers, washing every 2 to 3 days, and buying new. This is not costs for buying gently used, which you can get from this site. It's not buying, used from anywhere else, and it's not buying second diapers, which are brand new diapers, but just like second quality. It's buying brand new, basically full price diapers. Alright, so let's just go ahead and do the accessories that you need for cloth diapering before we jump into the actual cloth diapers. So as I mentioned before, I said you're going to need a diaper pail. You don't actually, but I like ours, so we're going to go with that. For this one, I'm estimating, so we're going off of the diaper decor price, which is $35.96. I said you're going to need 2 pail liners. Pail liners are basically like reusable waterproof bags that you put your diaper, so you would put that in the trash can to line it like you would a trash bag, and then you would put your diapers in that. So you need 1 to use while the other was washing. So 1 to wash and 1 to use. That's why you need 2. You also need 2 wet bags. That's for when you're on the go. It's basically a small version of that pail liner, and it usually has a zipper closure or some sort of closure. Those are for your diaper bag, so those are for when you're out and on the go. So again, 1 for your diaper bag, 1 to be washing. And you also need some wipes, some cloth wipes. It's kind of pointless to do cloth diapering if you're not going to do cloth wipes. We've tried it. We've tried doing cloth diapering with disposable wipes, and frankly, it was a nightmare. It's just, the wipes themselves are fine, but it's a matter of like I have to separate where I'm putting the wipes and where I'm putting the cloth diapers. It's just a lot easier to put the cloth wipes in the diaper and not have to like carry around a dirty wipe to the trash can. So highly recommend the cloth wipes there. I said you're going to need about 60 of them, and we buy the Bum Genius flannel wipes. There are cheaper wipes for sure. You can just cut up your own flannel receiving blanket if you want to, but the full price for these wipes, which we did not pay, but the full price for them would be, for 5 packs of them, would be $64.75. And then I said you're going to need a diaper sprayer. You don't have to have a diaper sprayer. People survive without a diaper sprayer. But I love my diaper sprayer, and so I included that in here. And that is cost of $54.95, which means that your accessories are about $221.66. Yes, you can get away with not spending $221.66, but for the purposes of this calculation, I'm going to say that's what you're going to need. Alright, so let's get started with the types of diapers and how much they cost. First, we're going to get started with flats and covers. So if you recall, flats are basically a receiving blanket. I don't have one with me, but it's basically a receiving blanket. So you're going to need 24 of those, and that's going to bring your cost to $45.90. And then you're going to need about 6 one-size covers. So something like this, which is just a waterproof cover. So you put your flat on your baby, and then you put this waterproof cover on top of that, so that it doesn't get on anything else. You will also need a snappy to attach to keep your flat on your baby before you put this on. So the 6 one-size covers, I'm saying you're going to use Thirsty's covers, they're very highly recommended. It would be $72.50, and then one snappy is about $3.99. That brings the total for cloth diapering from birth to potty training, using 24 diapers, flats, and covers, to $122.39. Birth to potty training, $122. Alright, let's move on to pre-folds and covers. So pre-folds are like this little guy. You can either fold it like this and just lay it inside the cover and then put it on your baby, or you can wrap it around your baby and use a snappy. So for the purpose of this calculation, I said you're going to need 24 pre-folds, and you would need probably 6 covers again and a snappy. So for this estimate, we went with the Econobum package. They have a package that is 12 pre-fold diapers, 1 wet bag, and 3 covers, and each of those is $49.95. So you'll need 2 of them, and you'll need to buy your snappy. That total cost is $103.89. You also save $33 from the accessories pile, because I said that the wet bags were $33. The two wet bags would be $33. But those come with those kits, so you don't have to spend that $33 on that side. So the total cost for just the diapers themselves would be $103.89. After I go through the cost of each of these diapers, I'll go through and add in the total cost of using each type of cloth diapering, including the accessories, the diapers, wipes, and the laundry. So far for the diapers alone, pre-folds and covers, $103.89. It's actually the cheapest way to cloth diaper. So the next diaper type are fitteds, and they look like this. They are totally absorbent all the way around, so they're not waterproof, so you do need to use a cover on top. So you'll need 24 fitteds and 6 covers. You don't need a snappy this time because the fitted usually has snaps. There are 2 ways to look at this. You can use size fitted diapers, or you can use one size fitted diapers. So if you were to use size diapers, it means that you're going to need 24 of size 1, which would be $180, and you would need 24 of size 2, which would also be $180. 6 covers at $72.50, and I said you needed a snappy, but you don't actually need a snappy, so this price will be inflated by about $3. $436.49 for sized fitteds. And if you decided to go with one size fitted, which if you recall, one size diaper is the type of diaper that adjusts the rise, and so that they can go from birth to potty training 8 to 35 pounds. If you got 24 of those, it would be $406.08. And if you got 6 covers, $72.50. And just in case you need a snappy, $3.99, bringing the total cost to $483.29. So fitteds, size diapers is actually going to be a little bit cheaper than the one size diapers, $436 versus $483 in this case. Alright, one size pocket diapers. Those are, this is a Bum Genius 4.0. So pocket diaper looks like this. This is a one size pocket diaper. So this is on the smallest rise. The little extra rise buttons are in here. This is an Aplex diaper, so Velcro. But you'll see hook and loop or Aplex, so it works basically just like a disposable in that it Velcros. And so the inside of a pocket diaper, you will see it's got a lining here, and then it's got this big old pocket where the absorbent portion is stuffed in. In this case, Bum Genius uses microfiber. So a pocket diaper, 24 pocket diapers. Let's see, 24 Bum Genius. They've upgraded since I did the 4.0s to 5.0. So the cost of 24 Bump Genius 5.0 one-size pocket diapers is $445.28. This is the most popular type of this brand of pocket diaper. So just to give you an idea, each one of those diapers costs $19.95. If you went with a cheaper one-size pocket diaper, so for example, maybe an Imagine Baby pocket diaper, and you did 24 of those, your total would only be $310.80 at $12.95 each. So within the one-size pockets, there is quite a range that you can choose from, but those are some options. All in twos. So I don't have a best bottoms diaper here, which is what I did the estimate off of, but I'll kind of show you what an all in two looks like. This is an itty bitty two-toe. It's an Australian brand. So it's a one-size diaper. It does adjust size there. And on the inside, an all-in-two diaper, I kind of think of it as a pre-fold and a cover, but the pre-fold is shaped and it snaps in instead. So, let's see. So you see the insert there snaps in. And this, you can reuse the cover here, but only if it doesn't get dirty or wet. So, and that's a little harder because this part isn't waterproof. The inside of it is, but the outside here isn't. So I don't really know how often you would be able to take it out. We just used it as an all-in-one. But anyway, that's sort of what that looks like. So all-in-twos, I went off using best bottoms cover costs. So 6 best bottom covers at $16.95 each would be $101.70, and then you would need 24 smalls at $3.95 each for $94.80, 24 mediums and 24 larges, same cost. The total would be $386.10. So that's all in twos. Hybrid diapers. This was fun. So hybrid, I looked at 2 different brands and I'll kind of explain why. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Flip Hybrid Diaper. That is by Bump Genius. I don't know if it's by Bump Genius or just by Cotton Babies. I can't tell which one's the mother brand, but I think whatever. Anyway, it's by that family. And you would need 6 one-size flip covers at $14.95 each, so that's $89.70. And then a hybrid diaper means that you have options. You can either use disposable inserts or you can use a cloth insert. So you can kind of do whatever works best for your family at that point in time. If you were only going to use disposable inserts throughout the entire lifetime of your baby, you would need, I went off of how many disposable diapers you would need, so you would need 5,736 disposable inserts, which means you need 319 packs, and each pack is $9.95, which means that you're spending $3,174.05 on disposable inserts for your Flip diaper. So the total cost, covers and disposable inserts, would be $3,263.75. If, however, you decided to use your Flip covers and your Flip cotton inserts instead of the disposable ones, you would need 24 of the inserts. They happen to be organic cotton. It would cost you $175.60. With the covers, your total would be $265.30. So exclusively using the disposable inserts is certainly not a cost-effective way to go. You do get the benefits of slightly reduced landfill impact because you're only disposing the insert. You're not just doing an entire disposable diaper. But you are missing out on a lot of benefits of cloth diapering, like it's cheaper. So that's that. I don't think the Flip system is made to solely be disposable diapering though. I think it's made to like be able to choose between which one you use at the time. So that is that. Now, G Diapers is another